is it just me, or am I shocked at the fact that I opened my phone today and I see Ken Carson in a fucking Skims ad? Like, what the hell is this? A Skims ad with Northwest of all people too. I'm genuinely shocked at that.
Everybody.
And I knew this was gonna happen because companies used to always put rappers in ads because it was like the thing that was like new and pushing to younger audiences, which is what they wanted to capture back then. But that kind of like faded away for like some time. Like, I feel like it hasn't really been happening like that in like 6 or 7 years. No pun, but I do feel like nowadays companies are realizing that a lot of the younger audiences are tuning into like rappers, and not like the bigger rappers like Polo G, Future, things like that, into more of like that. I don't know like what to call it, but like that bubble of rappers that's kind of like popular right now. People like Ken Carson, Osama San, Nettspend. Speaking of Nettspend, that nigga was in an ad too. He was in a Vans ad. Yo, like, it's just so funny to me seeing a Vans ad with Nettspend, and then right next to him is just Bella Porch. Like, that actually threw me off way more than the Ken Skims ad, because Ken isn't even an underground artist no more. Ken is like on the top of the world right now when it comes to gaining the attention of people. But Nettspend, really? And Vans of all things to collab with Nettspend, because I knew they collabed with Uzi earlier, but that also was super expected. Like, Uzi collabing with Vans was like guaranteed to happen, that the fact that he just off of the fact that he wanted to start skating more. But just I feel like Nettspend and Vans, they just like don't really fit together. And I guess Nettspend did like kind of support that skater mindset, but the second he dropped Nothing Like You, he immediately dropped that skater aesthetic. Nigga went straight to becoming a trapologist, which was definitely at the time a questionable choice, but I feel like he's starting to find a sound with his new releases. Even though I used to be a big ass Nettspend like hater, like kind of low-key dick riding, but now I can see like I can kind of rock with like some of the newer stuff he's dropping. I can kind of see where he's going with that. But back to the original topic, it's just kind of funny to see like these artists becoming quote-unquote models and actors for these ads, and companies starting to recognize them more. But this brings up the question, like, are these niggas even underground anymore? Like, I know like people still try to call them underground because they're not, you know, comparable at all to like the mainstream artists like Drake, Travis, etc. Yeet, like, but companies that have a mainstream reach and a mainstream audience has these people in their ads. Like these artists like Nettspend, because I'm gonna compare Nettspend to Chain or Osama because they kind of have like around the same monthly listeners, and like they're known equally, like the same, like they have the same amount of popularity. But like if you look at these artists who are getting recognized by bigger companies and areas where more of a mainstream audience is like taken over, then that comes to question, like, are they even considered underground anymore? Like, these people have like such a wide audience, like such a wide like appeal. I guess, okay, I wouldn't say audience, they just have like a wide appeal, because artists who are usually underground aren't going to be like household names, even the people who are mainstream fans. Because I know for some reason every rap caviar like underground hating ass nigga has knowledge on Nettspend, on Osama San, and on Che. Like, even though that they don't interact with the underground scene at all, or they would literally rather die than listen to underground music, but they still know who these people are just off of like the notoriety and the influence they're starting to create for themselves, which kind of like makes you think like these niggas might not be underground anymore. Like, I feel like it's starting to like consider themselves mainstream, or if we don't call them mainstream, at the very least say that they're well known. They might not be mainstream in terms of like actual like the music scene and like how celebrities work, but like they're well known to people enough to where even someone who listens to mainstream music is gonna know who they are. They may not like them, and they may not have a mainstream amount of audience, like a mainstream amount of numbers, but they're still known enough to be able to cater to that amount of people. Because even if people hate them or love them, they're still getting attention regardless. Like, even bad publicity sometimes is good publicity. Like, even though there's like a large amount of people in the rap caviar mainstream hating ass nigga part of that community know who these artists are, and even if they're not like a hater and they're just like a normal, just like mainstream listening person, they know who these artists are. Like, so, and that just comes to show how much influence they've had over the past few months, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of these like generalization to like everyone knowing these artists happened like kind of overnight. Like, it's kind of started happening in like July, and we're in December now, and people are like, everybody knows about who Osama-san is now, which is kind of funny, because if you look back to just a year ago, people, you would say the name Osama-san or Che, and niggas would look at you like, who the fuck is that? Like, it's just really interesting to see their growth over such a short amount of time. I'm not gonna lie, if I see one of you niggas wearing a skim set because of Ken Carson, bro, that's how I know they got you, bro. Like, they overly got you with that one, I'm not gonna lie. There's no way Ken Carson is gonna make me put on a pair of fucking Skims, bro. They got that shit, bro. They got that shit. But that aside, I do want to talk about how I didn't expect that last video to garner so much attention. Like, during the few days I posted that, I was really gonna be surprised if that shit even got 100 views, but that shit ended up getting 1,000 views, and that low-key made me really happy. So now that I know that I can like garner an audience and like garner attention towards this channel, I kind of want to make this a music discourse channel, because I love talking about music, I love hearing people's perspectives on music, and I love listening and seeing other people enjoy music. So I want to be able to share it out in the community that I garner here, and you know, getting the opportunity to do that would be amazing, honestly. And you know, I'm just gonna leave that there. But I hope you guys had an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next video.